Friday morning, 6:15. It's time for a little walk before sunrise, before getting something for breakfast, and heading home. Wild earth, wild self, wild Christ. Wild earth was the most difficult cognitively for me. It was some detail. Brian McLaren giving us the number 415. That's how many parts per million of carbon we have in the atmosphere. The highest for the first time in 60,000 years or something. We're doing it. We're screwing the planet. It's going to cost us. Michael Dowd talked about, he was our prophet, our eco-theologian. He believes all his theology, our theology, needs to be in service of the truth. Not our fantasy, not our hope. The truth, what is God, planet, existence. He is not what we'd call an optimist. But he has pre-doom and post-doom thinking. And so I found it very exciting, but hard. And then I guess maybe emotionally hard because he's not optimistic. Not optimistic about us. But part of our problem is we always make it about us. And it shouldn't be. The sin of our putting humans at the center of the story rather than God, rather than creation. A lot of the problem right there. He knows a lot. He's a prophet. He's homeless, has wandered 16 years with his wife, speaking really about eco-theology. There is, however, a post-doom place, almost like accepting the inevitability of your own death. Of course we're going extinct. Every species has. 5 years, probably too soon. 5,000 years, probably too far out. We've overshot. We've used up the resources. We are freed once we get beyond our need for being Pollyanna and human-centered to say, what'll be next? What will God do next? Some real but dark wisdom in his eco-theology, challenging us to not tame, but understand the core of who we are and of everything we should be thinking and doing. The earth, you can't get any bigger than that. Here we are. Beautiful. Sun's up soon. I'm starting to get hungry. This is Chimney Rock Trail. Because of this that I'm heading towards. I've been up here once earlier in the week for a funeral. It was mine. It's been such an incredibly full week. Has it been the best week of continuing it in my life? Yeah. Certainly the most exhausting and rich emotionally, spiritually. And that's why I forgot to do any of this. So to get caught up, I don't know what's possible. I feel like I found some of my people though. Collection of a lot of Presbyterians in the group, 40 of us. And some people asked, what's with all the Presbyterians? Canadians, United Church of Christ, 10 from Canada, and some Methodists and Quakers, Mennonites. Oh, what a bunch of fine people. Thrilling. Just thrilling. What an experience. Wild self. Wild self was not as difficult cognitively for me because I know some of the work over the years. The psychological background, personality theory, and especially for these guys, the work of Bill Plotkin that I brought to Genesis a little bit. The compass of the soul and the self and the sub-personalities. Incredibly useful stuff. So, that from the get-go was I knew kind of where we were going with that. I thought that was going to be 80% of the week. Oh, would that it was that easy. But the wild self, we've tamed ourselves. Our loyal soldiers tell us how to behave and conform. Conformity is a lot of what it's about. Christianity has been all about conformity. Disgusting. What a problem. How can we violate our deep selves by insisting on creeds and faith statements, insisting we behave certain ways? No wonder we rebel. Better than that, talking to our inner guides, we used a lot of imagination exercises. You can call them meditation if that makes you more comfortable. Laying on our back, drumming lightly, while one of the leaders who is great at it, Brian, lead us into ourself. Imagination, finding spirit guides. I don't know how to tell Genesis. I don't know how to tell Team Genesis about this in ways that won't be self is deeper and wilder than we ever give it credit for. We're not just depressed. We're accurately assessing how dehumanizing our culture is. We're crying out for help. If religion doesn't include the wild self, the deep psychological work, what are we doing? Teaching theology, teaching right thinking about the Bible. My friends here are not optimistic about the transformation in the church, but we feel in Wild Earth and in Wild Self some really important work, maybe the work of a lifetime. It is certainly an individual's prime work, and it's certainly what these guys, my 4 heroes and heroines who on this team, have now realized they need to give themselves to, in addition to, or maybe instead of, church ministry. How can we do both? I want to do both. Thank you, God, for this day. Wow, wish you could see this valley. I saw this valley yesterday at a birthing ceremony. Mine. Wild Christ might be the most hopeful of all. Most tears, is this true? Yes. Most tears in my wild self exercises, the most laughter in my wild Christ exercises. We have spent, I have been in shorts and short sleeves all week, even when it rained a bit. It's been delicious weather. We've spent a lot of time outdoors, a lot of time by ourselves, wandering. Wandering and then sitting and doing our own inner work. Transformative. Wild Christ was a beautiful exploration of our own Christian origins and tradition, our own rich resource of what God has left us, what Christianity has known in the past, but is lost in the last centuries, in our desire to be uniform and conform, the deep work of communion with God, of calling us beyond what is comfortable, beyond what we know, beyond what is safe. Just teasing my friend Matt Serdal. He sent us out on Wild Christ Day, one of the exercises. He said, go find a liminal space, an in-between space that you'll know it's there. Sorry, I interrupted a pilgrim. I don't know who she was. Up, sketching chimney rock. Pad of paper out. A lot of artists here. Would-be artists here, I should say. Just like there's a lot of Christians here and would-be Christians here. And a memoir writing class going on as well. Wow. We're sent to a dangerous place. And because I'm afraid of heights, I came up here. And I knew that, I knew I shouldn't be reckless. I also knew that I play it too safe. And so I found a place on the edge where I could grab a juniper. And I sat on the edge with my feet over the edge. I had a hard time getting there. Had to call. Oh, you're gonna think this is weird. Had to call my spirit guide to help me. He showed up instantly. It's a bear. It's a bear. I don't know what to tell you. That gave me courage to move out on the edge, hang on to the juniper, and do my work. So later, everyone at the thing is saying, we assumed you meant spiritually dangerous. And I'm like, what the hell? Matt, you should have been clearer. Wild Christ calls us to a ministry beyond self, of course, to growth that isn't safe, to a much broader sense of church, Christianity. What's the biggest container we can use? How can you choose anything smaller than Mother Earth herself? One of the best, and for me most important parts of the week was our clan, group of 10 led by Victoria, where we could debrief what we discovered in our own time, our own work, what we were weeping about, what we were laughing about. And so in case any of them see this, I want to thank you. But also, you can't quite tell, but I'm at the head of the canyon. I am where the canyon walls come together. I'm no longer just at the sides. I'm at the source. we're all at the source. If we could just find some people near us to give us the courage to do the next thing. Whew. Breakfast time. I need some coffee. Actually, I need some water. Thanks for watching.